Okay, I should be streaming. Good. Pre-roll messages playing. Excellent. Just get a little bit more space here while I wait. And there we go. Okay, starting the ads. And hello. Welcome back to the stream. I appreciate you being here. If you're hearing this message, chances are that you're watching the VOD either on Twitch or on YouTube. And I appreciate you checking it out. If you don't want to hear this pre-roll that I do for the beginning of the ads, go ahead and skip to about 2.5 minutes in, or till the end of this pre-roll credit screen that I've got rolling right now to get back into the game. If you're watching on YouTube, please do subscribe if you like the kind of long-form content that this is, where we're just replaying the stream. I do this for fun, but the subscription still helps, gets the word out for the YouTube algorithm. If you're watching on Twitch, please do feel free to follow and to swing by whenever you get a chance. I'd love to have you in. If either of those cases is true, feel free to subscribe to or to join the Discord. There's a link to it in both bios, and we got a lot of fun things going on over there. The people are great, the meme channels are fun, and there are notifications for when I upload a new video to YouTube or when I go live. If you feel like you're just not getting notified for whatever reason by the natural services built into those sites, this is a great way to make sure you don't miss it. On top of that, what is it? There are also polls and various channels for what you want to see on the channel, including a full list of my current Steam game collection, so you can see what I have, and if you want to prioritize anything on the list, just let me know. There's a section for that, as well as if you want to suggest a game for me to play that I don't have, you can put that in there as well. There are polls for what we do with the sub and bits that we earn for goals. Right now, the current front runner is we'll get blueprints, but that's a poll going on. You can always change the outcome if you want to join and see me do something else. Those goals, when we hit them, always take priority spots. So you're not going to be left waiting for it for a very long time. Let's see, anything else? If you don't feel like joining the Discord, feel free to leave me a message or reply to the videos on YouTube, and I'll be happy to get back to you if it's something I can answer, or just to know like if there's a better time for I can stream for you, or if there's something you want to see me play. Suggestions, feedback, always welcome. That said, we are back from the pre-roll ads now, and it's actually working this time, I think. I'm not sure. It says ads are still in progress for some reason. It's hard to say. I'm going to check my own channel and see if that's true. Hopefully not. Huh. Well, I don't know. Anyway, we're going to hop back into the game now anyway, because it should be working just fine. So we'll turn this off, and there we go. So today I have come prepared with secret weapons, and by that I mean a pad of paper and a pencil, because I am having a hell of a time with this particular puzzle. We spent so much time on it last time to get nowhere. So I need to figure out a little bit better the actual routines and the time frame for what's been going on. And I think this is the best way I can do it. So we have the morning time frame. which is what we need to work with first. So Billiam planted all morning. I feel like this is going to help. So Billiam planted all morning. And then in the afternoon is when he changed things. So we'll need a second category for afternoon. Podrick served Lord Alistair in the chess house. Alistair Podrick chess house. Alistair was there as well, yes. Dr. Turner arrived in the afternoon, so we're gonna have to look at that as well. But for now, we're still working with the morning time frame. This is James Turner. So he's the doctor. James was drinking sherry. With Blanchard. Hold on. Drinking sherry with Blanchard. Who was Blanchard? Oh, Leopold. Okay. So everyone down here is good. Ergen and Gideon are always together. So he was playing croquet. Gideon, Ergen playing croquet. And then they went to the tea house. Croquet, tea house, and looked at the chess house. And all of that should have been before, like it should have been in the morning, so before the afternoon. And it is Gideon Bell, so that's fine. Slightly difficult to understand what he says. I wonder if that has something to do with it too. Oh, I didn't pay attention to this. I hope the host did not notice me when he was leaning over the sleeping eye patch gentleman. Okay. So that means that he was by the window. Early in the morning, like somewhere in here. which means he lied about this a little bit. Leopold is the eye patch guy. So, Sherry and became drowsy. Which is also a bit different. Because he couldn't have seen the Lemurian while he was on the floor. Okay, gone up. I'm glad you like it. It's not running anymore, right? Like I did turn it off. You can see the game again. Okay, good, good. Drinking sherry with James. Okay, so I've got all of the morning stuff taken care of, but there is a little discrepancy I already found. Because here's the thing. I'm looking at Leopold's testimony right now. And he had the glass of sherry with James and became drowsy. Then he says, as he was falling asleep, he saw the Lemurian through the glass door. But the issue is, when we look at the Lemurian himself, he says he hopes the host didn't notice when he was leaning over the sleeping eye patch gentleman. So the host is James Turner, this guy, meaning that Leopold should have already been out cold at the time that that happened. Unless he was watching the entire time from when he went down to when the host went over to him to steal the button. So that's a continuity issue. And I'm not sure why. I mean, there is a second continuity issue in that these are the seals of the 12 Lemurian clans, but none of them actually match the seal that he has on his person. An axe in 2 hands. Which may not mean anything at this point, but that is a thing that's different as well. The button in his hand is obvious, which means this guy had to die at some point in the afternoon, most likely, right? Because I think this one said, let's continue our discussion at noon. So he was lured to this area at lunchtime, right? Because it's obvious what happened overall. Like, we know that there was collaboration between these two, Alistair and James, who are both members of the secret society, to let Hearst become the new prime minister. He had to either defame or depose of the leaders of these two parties in order to make that happen. So they worked together, obviously, to make this occur. Now, one thing that was interesting was, as I was looking through this, Ergen also says, or the constable says, that Ergen was difficult to understand, potentially because he has challenges with the language. But I don't know. This guy's blinking a lot. I'm still fixated on the fact that they're probably drugged, and I don't know why I'm still fixated on that. So that may not have much of anything to do with anything. Let me see what they're all saying first. So, I did not expect something like this in our household. He probably honestly didn't see anything. We'll clean the blood out of the rug. He's obviously high. What was in here? This was spicy smelling. Okay. Almost empty. Full glass of sherry. Fallen bottle of sherry. Let's maybe look outside again first. Because I know that these are just entrances into the house. There's two entrances. This one from the croquet yard. And this one from the fountain here. Rose bushes, chrysanthemum. So the fact that the Lemurian was with Gideon, Ergen was with Gideon all morning, or I guess all day up until this happened, means that he had to have seen what was happening with Leopold and James first thing in the morning, or like early in the morning, because that's the only opportunity that they had to look through an open window like this. Which means that this should be right. In the early morning, James drugged Leopold in the library and stole a button. That's the most likely one. So we have all of these locations as well, and two action words that we need to fill in. Let's look at this book again. So these letters don't matter much. There's nothing in there for me to need. But this is preposterous. You know he was killed by that Lemurian savage. Are his eyes pink as well? Or his eye? Welcome back, Wailord. No problem. Thank you for joining as always. Does that mean that this guy drank from his glass as well? Oh, doing all right, thanks. How are you? Let's check the afternoon then. So Billiam I should have had coffee too. That's a good thought, Connor. So in the afternoon, he moved to the rose bush from the chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum. There we go. At rose bushes. Saw Augustus. Leave the fountain at around noon. Leave fountain at around noon. Which does work with what I thought. And then continued working on the roses. That's fine. That puts him at this spot. The question is... Well, hold on for a sec. Where's that window? I guess it doesn't really matter. It's just this is the library, so... Oh, right. Okay. So that's why it's showing me is that the tea house couldn't have had any sort of view of the library because there's no windows here. This is all books. That's fine. That makes sense. That just reaffirms that Ergen had to see this happen in the morning. Okay. So if we're looking at this then... Good to know you're fine. This doesn't have a time frame though. Found Lord Leopold asleep. So meanwhile, in the salon... Oh no, that's right. Provoke a Lemurian club. Actually, hold up. What's missing from the wall here? That is the boomerang. It's not the club. Okay. So it is the boomerang. The club has nothing to do with it. And this is also in the salon, not in the library. That's where this is. Okay, okay. Something a Lemurian boomerang from the salon. And killed a Lemurian boomerang, stole planted, drugged frame. So I think these have to be right. These are the only words that fit. So who was there around noon? That's the question we have to ask. So Podrick, in the morning, was with Alistair at the chess house. Maybe. I'm not sure at what point you left the other day, Clarissa. Oh, okay. So let me catch you up on what's gone on, because I have been working on this scenario forever. So in the cult, we found out that these two were the guys that worked together in order to get this fellow in here initiated into the cult. So they stole this costume from the guy out in the bushes here and won the duel by not dying. The second guy here, what was his name again? David Garan pointed out which of these cups was poisoned to the guy that had to drink one of them. So he didn't die. And then as a result, this guy down here was initiated into the cult. His name was Lazarus Hurst. That's what happened there. Now, in the next scenario, we see that later on in life, a significant way later on, this guy, Lazarus Hurst, used the idol as a cane end, basically, this part here, to create a miracle where he could float before he hit the ground in order to become like leader of the society. He got crowned leader by all these masters of the order. This is James Turner, this is Alistair something or other. And one of the people that was suspicious and trying to blackmail tried to replicate it to disprove it and failed. So he died. And this guy is now the head of the order. But when what we're looking at in this scene is that as head of the order, not this way, get out of here. He's leader of this party called the New Order Party, which should have been able to take control of everything as prime minister, except that these two guys, who are Valentine and Blanchard, are able to form a coalition to stop him from becoming prime minister. They just have to figure out who would be the leader of the coalition. But the cult doesn't want that. They want the power. So what they did was they've lured these two guys here. This is Valentine and this is Blanchard. Or what's his name? Yeah, Blanchard and Valentine. So Valentine is dead, and they're trying to frame this guy as the one who killed him. So you can see that he's missing a button on his shirt here, and that button is found in this fellow's hand. So by doing this, this one's dead, and this one will be taken out either in prison or as part of a scandal, even if it was disproven, so that Lazarus Hurst would be able to be the new prime minister, and they'd have control of everything. But I'm struggling right now to figure out exactly how that happened. Yeah, lots of intrigue upon intrigue. So here's what I do know so far. In the morning, James, this doctor dude over here, and this guy, Leopold, were having a drink of sherry in the library over here. And you can see that James' glass is full and Leopold's glass is empty, or almost. And there's a bottle of sherry on the ground. We can also see that, although I hadn't noticed it, his eyes are pink. The same way that this butler's eyes are pink. And that is a result of this black poppy drug, which taints the whites of the eyes pink and makes them sleepy. So at some point after that, something happened in the something. And in the salon at around noon, someone killed the fat minister and planted the button on him to frame Leopold. And I'm pretty sure that everything here and here is 100% correct. So I'm just not sure what they're wanting me to get at with the meanwhile in the blank. Because there's 7 different options here. And I'm not sure what exactly I'm supposed to be aiming for with that information. Because this... Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. It is a hell of a mystery to try and unravel, and this one is really hard. And I'm trying super hard to not use any hints, too. I haven't used even one yet, and I'm still working on it, but it's gotten so confusing and convoluted at this point that I'm currently taking notes to try and work out the time frames here. Because something has happened. Billiam should have been at the rose bushes, and he saw Augustus, which is this fat guy, leave the fountain, which is this area here, at around noon. And he has this little token on him that says, let's continue our discussion at noon. So, my thought is, at around noon... Oh, so this is before noon that I need to worry about that. Who was there around noon? So in the library... Might have been in the library. Because that's the thing. In between when Augustus got there, which should have been noon, and the morning when Leopold was drugged, something happened in between. I'm not sure what fills that spot. So we're assuming that information is accurate because it matches up both his testimony with the card that's been planted on him. Or that he had on him. Which means, what about here? Podrick says that his master arrived and told him to dispose of the spoiled sherry. So, sorry, I'm looking at my notes again. In the morning, Alistair and Podrick were at the chess house, and that can be confirmed. Ergen and Gideon were both seeing that. Alistair Cock lectured the butler. And then Alistair left the chess house and returned shortly after. So I think Alistair did it. Which would be in the salon. Alistair Cock. No, that's not right, because in the salon at around noon, Alistair Cock went here. Right? Alistair Cock? Yeah. Because if he disappeared for a little bit, that would have been around noon, most likely. Hold on. They played croquet in the morning, got bored, and went to drink tea in the tea house. And then I guess they were just overlooking it from there, which is fair, because they are within sight of each other. One almost empty and the other untouched. So if we're looking at the spices here again, or the drugs here again, it looks like this guy drank tea with the Lemurian lichen, which I was right about yesterday, I think. Hyperconcentration on one thing, loss of perception of time, rapid blinking. So his narration about the events, the schedule, can't really be trusted, since he saw him leave and then return shortly after. But he's absolutely hyper fixating on the chess house, because they're talking about the design of the chess house, the beauty of the chess house, and then again leaving the chess house. So that's where all of his attention was focused. He absolutely was drugged, wherein Ergen, the prince, was not. He's got the spicy tea box, or the spicy box with the drugs in it, but he's not exhibiting those symptoms. In fact, he has no symptoms. He's not drugged at all. But this fellow is, which means he also drank from the sherry, most likely, or from the bottle. And that would explain why he passed out. Is there extra stuff over here? No. Okay. So it's not like they're having tea out here. But it feels most likely that Alistair probably left to go down in and killed Augustus. So when would they have planted the button? Oh, I guess Alistair would have been here. What could have been here? Meanwhile, in the salon... Oh, somebody else drugged the butler. He didn't drink it on purpose. What's his name again? Podrick Hill. So, Podrick Hill. So, meanwhile, in the library again, maybe. Drugged. That might have been it. Maybe Alistair drugged Podrick. He's the only one really unaccounted for. See, so nothing was going on quite at that time. At noon exactly, or about, I guess, is when Augustus moved from the garden into the room here. Yeah, that's when he was killed, at least if the timekeeping matches, which it seems to. Those two pieces of evidence corroborate with each other. So at noon is when this happened. Now in between then, we know that in here the sherry was poisoned, or was drugged, I should say, and this guy should have been passed out. As he was passing out, we can corroborate his statement with the fact that Ergen and Gideon were playing croquet out in the yard, because that's the only place they'd actually be able to look into the window. It's also fair that the statement this Lemurian guy is saying is that he saw this guy, James Turner, leaning over the sleeping eye patch gentleman. So that was when the button was stolen. Which means in between, someone had to come and kill this guy, but also had to drug the butler. And the butler was sent off almost immediately after James went to the chess house. So what it seems most likely happened is James stole the button off of Leopold's shirt, went up towards the chess house here, handed off the button to Alistair, which is the flappy jowls guy here, who's also part of the society. And then when Podrick went to clean up the sherry, I'm not sure if he would have gone through here or through here, because they both work, but probably through this door. But when he went to clean up the sherry, he was drugged as well. Alistair might have followed him and made him do that, or told him to have a drink. I'm going to try it. So Alistair Cock. No! Oh! Damn, that means like more than 2 are messed up as well. I'm not just missing a single piece of evidence. Or a single piece of reality here. This is absolutely truth. I know that happened. He drugged Leopold in the library and stole a button. That's all confirmable. But this is all conjecture. As well as this. We know that Augustus was killed and the button was planted on him around noon. So this part here is all confirmed. And in the salon is also right, I believe, because there's no like blood trails anywhere, no drag marks, just boomerang hit, big splatter, drop, boomerang. No drag marks, no excess blood anywhere. All of their weapons are clean, so the boomerang was the murder weapon. There's no drag marks anywhere here, meaning he walked himself over there. So I'm absolutely positive everything from Alistair Cock on here is correct. And this can all be corroborated as well. Which means the only things I'm missing are who actually did the killing and what this meanwhile is. This one over here. So this one is the tea house, where you can see that the blue-haired guy had his tea spiked and the Lemurian did not. Because blue-haired guy is blinking rapidly and he's fixated on the chess house. Whereas Lemurian guy does not exhibit those symptoms, he just had the drugs on him. So maybe I am missing this. Hold on. Because this guy's letter says he was invited by the director of the Seven Seas Company. This might be the opportunity that they seek to reclaim honor. So maybe this guy did do the killing. Because he would have known how to use the boomerang, and he probably would have been the only one to know how to use the boomerang. If he was specifically invited by James, the head of the Seven Seas Company, then maybe they were working in cahoots. He had to drug Gideon. Oh, maybe that's the thing. He had to drug Gideon in order to get Gideon to fixate on the chess house so that he could slip away. That actually sounds reasonable. Because he wouldn't have had to talk if he was just talking about the chess house. The only thing is, the statement talks about how he saw James come to the chess house and send the butler away, just as Ergen was remarking on the beauty of it. The only thing is, he's also talking about he's leaning over the sleeping eye-patch gentleman. So there is a discrepancy here, and I'm not sure where exactly it falls. Because Gideon is saying, or not Gideon, Leopold is saying that he had the glass of sherry and became drowsy, which means he fell asleep right then. As he was falling asleep, he saw the Lemurian observing him through the glass door. Which means that would have still been in the morning. Yeah, so this happened in the morning, and then he has no memory at all up until he wakes up about noon. Everything else happens in between, in this space here. The boomerang wasn't planted because it was the murder weapon. It's the only thing that's bloody, and it's on the ground, and it matches the wound in the guy's head. Right? Like it looks like a boomerang wound. It's not a sword stab. It's a blunt force trauma type thing. I'm going to try and see if this is Patu. I think that sounds kind of logical. Because provoke doesn't fit anywhere. Like, not anywhere. And the boomerang is the only thing that could fit in there. So the seal is nothing. Oh, no, that's wrong. Implanted the boomerang. No, the button on him. There we go. To frame Leopold Blanchard. Again, pretty sure all of this is accurate. And the butler was obviously drugged. We can't see anything about the eyes of this guy, so we don't know if he was drugged at all. I don't think it would matter even if we did. Maybe that is part of the problem. See, these are the 12 Lemurian clans, but this guy has the slate seal that's different. It's a different clan that doesn't fit in any way. Like, it can't be combined with these symbols. Yeah, this guy was drugged after drinking tea. And he was drugged with this Lemurian lichen, which this guy has on him, the spicy smelling ornamental box. And the effects of it are the hyper concentration on one thing and a loss of perception of time. That's what I'm thinking, is it's possible that this guy, whose seal doesn't belong to any of the 12 Lemurian clans, it might, and here's why I think it's possible. His seal doesn't belong to any of the 12 Lemurian clans that are recognized. He's got a different seal on him. And he drugged that guy specifically because the tea that he used is untouched. Only Gideon is spiked with this Lemurian lichen. So it's possible that James and the Lemurian were in on it together, wherein he was promised that his clan would have more power or something to reclaim their honor. I'm going to try it. I think that's possible. Oh, that is what I'm missing, I think. So meanwhile, in the tea house, that's probably it. In the tea house, what's his name? Ergen Patu drugged Gideon Bell. There we go. Yeah, that's what it was asking for. Because we did know that that happened as well. Okay, yeah. I was just concentrating on the wrong thing. I was thinking all of it was supposed to revolve around this, and that it didn't really matter that this guy was drugged at all. But if Ergen was in on it, then he didn't steal a Lemurian boomerang. He planted it? No. Yeah, I'm really close. Only one of two things is wrong. Or I guess only up to two of these are in the wrong spot. So let's assume this is correct, that a Lemurian boomerang was stolen from the salon. Because that's where they are now, and that's where the boomerang is missing. Let's re-examine the statement from Patu and Gideon. So Gideon saw Lord Alistair leave the chess house and return shortly afterwards. James Ordered the butler to clean up the library and get rid of the bad sherry. Spent the rest of the time playing chess with Alistair until the alarm was raised, which we know isn't true because Alistair left and came back. So, Leopold inspected the weapon and deduced that the Lemurian was the murderer. Could that possibly be Patu again? Yeah, that was Leopold Blanchard, this guy, who is the one that they're trying to frame. He had this button stolen, and then it was planted on this guy with his hand. Like, he put the button in his hand. Oh, hold up. Hold up. There's a thing. There's a thing. No, wait, that's right. Somebody had to kill Augustus and plant the button on him. And I think this is right because Alistair disappeared. Maybe it's not stole. Planted? No. Well, actually, hold on. Planted and stole are the same ones. Two or fewer slots are still incorrect, which means one of these hold on. And stole the Lemurian boomerang. The guy with the hat, this one? No, he doesn't have anything stolen on him. Just that they want to reclaim their honor. So that's why I thought that maybe they were working together in this endeavor, right? He was invited by the director of Seven Seas, James. Why does he have the scalpel on him? I don't think that matters. He is a doctor. So far what we're ascertaining is that this guy, and this guy were all in on it in some fashion, right? So the doctor here invited him and probably convinced him to help out in order to return honor or power or something to their clans. And specifically the fact that this clan doesn't seem to exist in the list of the accepted 12 Lemurian clans. And it can't even be made with a combination, so it's not like he's a clan head of some subsidiary. In addition, this guy was drugged this fellow, and this guy drugged this fellow. This one was playing chess and had to leave at some point to come down and, I'm assuming, do the murder and plant the button. Because we know that James met up with Augustus here, or not Augustus, with Alistair at the chess house, where the butler was as well. So what I'm going to assume is that James told Alistair, or told the butler Podrick here, to come clean up the sherry, and I say that with quotation marks. So he came and he drank the sherry rather than letting it spoil. Or he might have even drank it directly from the bottle. So he passed out, and this guy passed out. Which means they're completely out of the equation for now. Gideon Bell was just fixated on the chess house because he was drugged out of his mind. This guy has nothing to do with anything. He's just the inspector. And this guy's dead. So the only one that's actually innocent so far is the gardener. The gardener is just here for the ride, which means Alistair has to be one of the guilty parties. I'm just not sure how exactly this fits in. Because, like, if I, just for fun, put that in there. Actually, let's try this. Valentine Ergen. Yeah, so Alistair has to be right in there. Like, I'm not making this up. Two or fewer slots are incorrect. I don't want to just play a guessing game here, but I'm not sure which word isn't right. So maybe it shouldn't be stole twice. Who's making that farting sound? Oops. Thank you, Caught Up. Double thank you, Caught Up. Alright. So Valentine is the victim, the boomerang is the murder weapon, and the salon is where he was murdered. The body was found by Leopold Blanchard. I am trying not to. I'm not just rearranging the words. I'm trying to figure it out. So in the salon around noon, Alistair Cock killed Augustus Valentine and planted the button on him to frame Leopold Blanchard. I am sure this is correct. I am 100% sure this is correct. So, if all he did was plant the button on him, though. No, because he would have killed him too. In the tea house, Ergen Patu drugged Gideon Bell, and did he steal the boomerang from the salon? I am so close. I am so close. Because I know that in the tea house, Ergen drugged Gideon. And then something with the Lemurian something from the somewhere. And I'm pretty sure the salon is where this is. Like, if I change this out to library, it's not going to work. Two are still wrong. Wait, would that mean... Are these the ones that are wrong then? Just these two? Huh. Because two or fewer slots are incorrect, and changing these up to things that I thought were obviously wrong didn't change the two that were incorrect. I'm going to see if I can isolate this. So a Lemurian club. Also two or fewer are incorrect. Lemurian sherry. Huh. It's not a Lemurian button. Which means most likely I only have one wrong. right? Because it would be a maximum of 2 that I could get wrong before it was just red and it wouldn't be 2 or fewer anymore. So if it is this one, which last one do you mean, Clarissa? Because here's my current dilemma, right? Is what I'm learning is that there are 2 or fewer slots that are incorrect, meaning I could have 1 wrong or I could have 2 wrong. So I can test that theory by going up to one that I know is right. That's true. And I don't want to try them one by one either. Like that's not what I'm doing here. What I'm trying to do is, hold on. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Holy crap, Clarissa, you're a genius. Holy crap, you are a genius. His seal isn't up there because he took it from here. There's 12 Lemurian clans, but only 11 of the seals on the shelf. Oh my goodness. Clarissa, you are a genius. Okay, but to be fair, I was fixated on the fact that this was the thing that was missing very obviously. Okay, so let me explain to you what you did then, Clarissa. I had 1 word wrong in here. At least I thought it was less than 2 because that's the information I have. 2 or fewer slots are incorrect. And I had no idea which one it was. Right? Now, what was used to kill this guy was a boomerang. And when you look at the wall, the boomerang is obviously missing, right? So I was fixating on the fact that it must have been the boomerang that was stolen in order to kill this guy, and it was a handoff for some reason. And that was dumb of me. Because when we look at this sign, it says the seals of the 12 Lemurian clans. But how many seals are here? 6, and 5 is 11. And the only person with an extra seal on him is this fellow here. Meaning he stole his own clan's seal back from that shelf. That's what he was doing in here. That was his part in it. And it was the only one that I didn't think could be real or couldn't try because I was fixated on the boomerang. So there we go. You helped tremendously, Clarissa. Thank you for thinking that through. Finally, indeed. That, I think I was working on that single puzzle for probably about 2 hours, 2.5. God damn. So, Brotherhood member Alistair and James plotted to turn the ruling moderate and loyalist parties against each other. Over the course of a weekend at James Manor, Alistair murdered the moderate leader and James framed the loyalist leader. See, that's where I was thrown off. I thought this was the entirety of the scene, that nothing else would matter. So I didn't even think Patu had anything to do with it. I was just completely discounting him from the mystery solving. Damn. Okay. But we did it. We did it. So you said there were 11 chapters. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, what possible purpose could this fellow have served? Like, he played no part in the murder. It's just, here's what happened. And I think it's the first time it's done that where it's made me look at something completely arbitrary. And realistically, if we're looking at the big picture here, his drugging Gideon and stealing his seal back is completely arbitrary. It had nothing to do with the idol. It had nothing to do with the murder or the power struggle. It didn't even have anything to do with the recap. So that's the first time it's done that. I think it's fair for me to be thrown off by it. That's all I'm saying. Continue. Don't need to do that. This one. All right. I already start with words? Oh no, I start with numbers. Yay, numbers. Alright, so I have a tribunal. Something have passed since Order Party has seized power. During a tribunal, someone is judged to have the largest something deduction in all tribunal history. Okay. Let's look at this. Oh, there's 2 scenes here. Okay. 3? 3 scenes. Okay. So let's see. Who's this? Prince of Dusk, like night I am dark and full of terror. I do not fear love, do not make that error. When you know my name, just look for my face. Okay. Who's this? Some mistakes are very costly. Oh! That's, David Goran. He doesn't have his usual stuff on him, though. Okay. Remember the third virtue. That's a weird picture. Remember the second virtue. Okay, we'll have to learn what those virtues are, I guess. It is a thing of beauty to see order prevail. If it were not against the first virtue, I would feel very happy. Nicholas. More than 3 shillings on new clothes. Nicholas Maker. Okay, he was the record keeper before. Still is. Okay. What's on the table? 6 culprits are brought to the tribunal. Each culprit's changes are evaluated and merit changes calculated. Merit, merit, merit. Let's see who these guys are. Fashion charges. The tribunal is a farce. They spread lies that my love is merely lust. What do they even know about true art? Okay. Felt it in my bones that I should have drunk less. Now we poor souls experience God's wrath. So that's everybody from down there. That is music to my ears, Alistair, but do control your emotions. We as arbiters of the order must never violate the first virtue. Untidiness is one of the virtues, okay? What are you insinuating, James? I would never breach the fourth virtue. You know that he can keep no secrets. First virtue, okay. War maxims of virtue. Okay, so I'm gonna have to look up, or rather think of the different deductions here. Brandy, opium. Butter. Well, this is wrong. There's a 2p difference here. Okay. Violin. Gideon. That's interesting. What the hell is this? Okay. Stories, Autumn Tales. You will perform your function as much as is required. It is paramount to ensure order in our new society. 1 gram tying down the button to activate it. Okay. According to the virtue breached. Okay. I would prefer storing no more than this. The Order Party has worked hard to improve society. Virtue of moderation. Okay. Tobacco is not considered an indulgence. Okay. Literature is forbidden. So I'm missing quite a few words in here. Oh, here we go. Fanger Quinn. Okay. Walter Keane. Wore ridiculous headgear at 5 public events. Lothar Richards. Revealed the whereabouts of his hiding fugitive dissident daughter Mary and her husband Peter. Okay. Wait, Peter? Hold up. Lothar Richards was this dude back here. And this is Peter something. Right? Peter Batley. Yeah, okay, so that's Peter Batley. And this is his wife, Mary, I guess. Mary Richards. Okay. Oh, continue. There we go. So we did that one. A few years ago, where he offered his large amounts of wine. Left his work at a tannery. Josh Bailey. Magic! Left his work at tannery early. Drank excessive amounts of gin at the Scrawny Cat. Excessive amounts of rum at the Old Oak. Approached a married woman with an indecent offer. Denied 4 times that he had done these acts. Okay. Count Horace Webb. Has not held down a job since the new regime started. Claims he works in his castle helping his servants clean it. Possesses 15 books kept in his private library. Okay. Gideon Bell. Wears an outrageous hairstyle. Broke down in tears 10 times. Has refused to start working. Rejected the High Arbiter's request that he share information of a secret entrance to the castle of his cousin the Sovereign. Okay. Okay. So let's see what we can do then. So this blue one, I'm assuming it's blue, would be I'm not 100% sure. That one is probably moderation. The second one would probably be truth, because that's an untrue invoice. And then this one would probably be... I don't know. But I'm going to assume that this one is truth. Oh, third one would be art. Well, not necessarily. So, the second virtue is truth. I'm going to assume the first one is moderation. Violin. Like, obviously art has been confiscated and music has been confiscated. Not that one. And that was in the yellow. So art, music, and there is a lot to mix in here. Holy cow. Hairstyles? Is that one? No. If they're judging these things, though, then it might be that the third virtue is beauty. Vulgar art, music, and fashion would probably be punished. And then if we're looking at stories... Not that one. Huh. So all of these are meant to help you figure out the numbers. Let's maybe look down here again. So lies and secrets. Let's say that this fourth virtue is truth, which would make lies and secrets punishable. Maybe mistakes? If we're talking about the first virtue being moderation, then probably lust, beauty. No, beauty was one of those. First virtue is moderation, excessive lust, excessive. What else is here? That one's not truth. That one's not beauty. Sloth and indulgence would probably be punished. Oh, wait, no, because at work, sloth might be another one. It's hard to say for sure. But I know that these, the lies and the secrets, would probably be demerits together, and they're only -1. And if we're looking at Nicholas here, Yeah, see, he made a mistake. And he was slothful. And those are worth 3 each, it looks like. So sloth is probably here. I would guess untidiness would also be here. And what was the last one? Mistakes. Sloth, mistakes, and untidiness, which would make this one what would that be? Oh, the first virtue would be emotions. Lust, indulgence. What other emotions were there? Is diligence one of them? It is. Good eye. No, that looks to be about right. The second virtue is diligence. At work, sloth, mistakes, and untidiness will be punished. That seems right. I just forgot that diligence was a word I could use. Fashion charges would be one of them. I'm right. I think this one is beauty and these are correct. Art, music, and fashion. So I'm pretty sure this one's good. I think this one's good. I think this one's good and this one's good. I just need to fill in what these last ones are. So lies, secrets, and... what would the last one be? Lust, art, music, untidiness, moderation. Oh, lies, secrets, and literature. So then what would this one be? Lust, indulgence, and... I'm not sure. Because I have everything that I need in terms of words. So lust, indulgence... Maybe I'll just kind of move everything into the correct areas first, or different areas. So if I'm going to do diligence, put you up here, mistakes, sloth, which was over here. I can't move that one, I guess. Untidiness can go up here. Beauty, art, music, fashion, and then lies, secrets, literature, and truth. Literature's back there, so truth should be here. Maybe. I'm not sure, though. I just want to have another look at this stuff. Untidiness breached a virtue. Kept a book. Drank a full bottle of brandy. Slapped a sergeant in anger, which is a deduction. Lust, indulgence. Maybe I've got this wrong. Maybe emotions goes in here. And then moderation goes here. Ha! Got it. Okay. That makes sense. It was this one that tipped me off because he slapped a sergeant in anger and lost points. Now, we can kind of calculate what each of these is worth based on the metrics that we're getting here. So, if he starts at 20 points, moderation violation and a music violation add up to 9. Which means one of them is probably 4 and the other one is probably 5. Maybe I can look at these again. This might help. Walter Keane. Okay, we'll have to figure that out after, because we need to understand these. Oh, here, these help. Not that. So if he drank a full bottle of brandy, that's a violation, and the book is also a violation. And he only lost 8 points. Indulgence and literature, right? That was it? Yeah. Full bottle of brandy at a picnic and the book. Does that overlap here at all? Marching music. Not yet. I'm gonna have to look at it a little bit more. These ones... what are here? No, that didn't help. How about these guys? So he started with 10, and these were 3 each. So mistakes, he had only clerical mistakes, which means these ones, diligence, are probably 3 merit. And David Garan had a lie and a secret. So that means they're probably worth 1 each. Now, if we're looking at these, again, then it's these 2 we don't know yet. With art being 1, and emotions being another. He lost 9 points, which means one of them is 5 and one of them is 4. Like, there's just no other option for that. But this one is also 4 and 4, because he has no increase. Drank a full bottle of brandy, so he indulged. Right? Which would be that one. And he kept a book in his study. Oh, wait, that's right, because that's a secret and literature. Which, if they're 1 point each, means that's 2 merits? Which would have the indulgence being 6. And if that's worth 6 points... then these are probably worth -2? Ah! Stupid math! Ah! Almost. The problem is these don't seem to... they don't seem to agree with each other, is the issue. Right? Like, they both have at least this one, which is the bottle of brandy. And I doubt they're both -1. So he's got the indulgence, and he's got the emotions. And it's not like they are more points the further down you go. That doesn't seem to be it at all. I also didn't have to list them in a specific order of points, so they're equal to something. So a violation of beauty and a violation of moderation. Is a total of -9 points. He didn't lie about this, though. But he did drink the full bottle of brandy. He just had the book. So if he only had the book, and that's worth 1 point, then that would make this 7 points for each of these ones. Let's try that. And then 2 points, I guess, for the beauty. There we go. Okay. So they did agree. I just inferred a little bit more from here than it was actually needed to infer. Jeez, I would be a terrible person to have on this tribunal. I'm strict. All right. So we know what the virtues are. We know how much each punishment is. Now we have to look at these to determine how many points they lost, I guess. So Fangor Quinn lied, had art, had emotion, and then was another emotion, or the lust. Right? Yeah, in anger. So that was -14 for these two. And then the art was another 2, so 16. And then the lie was 1. So -17 points. And then Walter Keane, let's see here. This one's going to be kind of rough, because if he flirted 3 different times, then that's that could be as many as 21 points reduced. It depends on if they're counting each one of these as a separate charge or all together. So let's try and count it as if it's everything. That's at least easy here, right? I'll figure it out pretty soon. It's definitely minus points. And flirted 3 times. Which I guess would be here. So 21, as I thought. 21? I hate myself for saying that. That is the stupidest meme. Ridiculous headgear at 5 events. Which are fashion. So that's another 10. So 31. And then a lie. So it should be 32, I think. Minus 32? Okay. Yep. It is multiplied by each violation. That's good to know. So Lothar held a dinner party a few years ago where he offered large amounts of wine to his guests. Got angry during questioning and shouted at the Hierarcher. So this would be one emotion, and this would be... I don't know what the violation is. Maybe another indulgence? So I guess +1 for that because of the 15 merit here. Probably. Plus 0, 1 merit. And then Josh Bailey. That's drinking, so indulgence, indulgence. Approached a married woman with an indecent offer. So that's 21 again. Questioned 4 times, that's a lie. It's 4 more, so 25. And then left his work early. I'm guessing that's this one, sloth. So 28 points, probably. Minus 28. Good, good. Horace Webb and Gideon Bell. Let's see. 60 instances of non-work, which would be sloth. That's minus 180. 6, 12, 18, yeah. Claims he works in his castle helping his servants to clean it. So that's -1 because he lied, I guess. Or they're judging it as a lie. And then 15 books kept in his private library, which is another one of these. So -16 on top of 180 is 196. But he got plus 200, which means plus 4. Plus 0, 4. Outrageous hairstyle, that's the fashion. Which is -2. Broke down 10 times during the questioning. Which would be emotions. Ooh, that's 70. So 72 already. Has refused to start working. 5 instances of job skipping, which were 3 each, so 15. 15 plus 72 is 77, 87. 88. So minus 88. Okay. Hooray, that's all the sub-objectives. Now just for this one. How many years have passed since the Order seized power? Didn't one of these guys have a paper? 1792. And this is currently 1795. So 3 years. 3 years. Where's years? Have passed since the Order Party has seized power. During a tribunal... Walter Keane had the most. I think. No, he had 32. Gideon Bell. Okay. Gideon Bell is judged to have the largest merit deduction in all tribunal history. To execute his punishment, I'm guessing idol was used on him, and he lost... Oh! Well, now this one is interesting. It took years of his life? Maybe that's what it was. Did he lose 88 years? To match his merit deductions? 88 years. Huh. Okay. Well, got that. The Order Party has seized power and now enforces the 4 maxims of virtue. The young Duke was judged during the tribunal to have lost 88 merits. The High Arbiter of the party, Lazarus Hurst, used the idol to decrease Gideon's youth by 88 years, thus making him 108, which resulted in his death. Alright. It has been almost 2 hours though, and my throat is starting to get sore, so I think we will try and finish this up tomorrow. Waylord, will that work for you if we do it at the same time? Thanks. Definitely better than level 9. Okay. So we'll work on this more tomorrow then. Man, level 9 was hard. It was such a red herring with this stupid Patu guy. Like, how was I supposed to know he had anything to do with anything? Like, Anyway, thank you all for watching. I appreciate you being here. Clarissa, I absolutely appreciate your insights and thoughts into it. You may have just been grasping at straws, but they were the straws that I needed to not have my back broken. So I will see you all again tomorrow. Thank you again. Exit game. Stop streaming. Oh, raid time. Right. I was just about to do that. I'll stop the stream anyway, and then I'll shoot you over. So don't run away if you want those points.